Without a road and a honey. I'm a road and a honey, and you can't keep up with me. You got a green light, baby. Maybe, baby, you will see.
Welcome back to the American Adversary. 105.5 FM, 660 AM. I'm Dr. Ken Vihik on this side of the desk, sitting across from your wonderful host, Mr. Christopher Hart. We've been talking about a lot of things all day today, but mostly about the shooting and what's going on in San Bernardino, and also the non-admission by our administration as to what really happened. So, anything else you want to talk about or touch on that area there, Chris? Are you shocked out?
No, man, I'm just getting started.
I was afraid of that.
You and a lot of other people out there. No, we got some big poll numbers to talk about. I wanted to talk about this article by Michael Eric Dyson, a black fella, talking about how Barack Obama has ignored the constituency that elected him twice, of course, black America. We've been talking about that for a long time, but now finally black liberals are beginning to notice. All right. But
they're a little slow on the uptake.
Kinda, yeah. Just take a look at this thing. It's taken how long to call it terrorist act?
Yep.
Now they still can't bring themselves to say Islamic-inspired terrorist act?
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines because Kathy has been patiently waiting. By the way, you can be a part of the show, too, at 407-774-8255. Kathy, thank you for waiting through that break.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
We certainly can. Thanks so much.
Somebody had mentioned the silhouette picture of the female killer. I don't know if you've noticed, but on the news now, she no longer has the headdress on. She now has like a shoulder-length little curly hair, like a little bob to her hair.
You talking about?
Change that.
You talking about the silhouette image?
Yes, the silhouette image. It's no longer appears like a headdress. It now appears like she has shoulder-length hair with a little curl on the end of it.
Right, exactly. Some little bobby cut or something. I don't know what you call that.
So obviously you want to change the image of what people think.
They call it a page boy bob.
Okay.
Whatever it's called.
A page boy bob, yeah.
That's an excellent...
Second of all, I know they had, one of the previous callers had mentioned about the criminal defense attorneys for the family. They said we shouldn't jump to conclusions because the facts are not in. And in the same sentence, they say just because they have a Muslim name does not make them terrorists. So
well, that's no. It's the fact they went and shot up a place and killed 14 people, wounded 27. That makes them a terrorist.
In the name of Allah.
Yeah, and also it mentioned as far as the workplace thing, they had mentioned that he had a beard, and he was made fun of at work, so that's the reason. That irritated him.
Oh. Yeah, he was made fun of because his beard was a little longer than it should have been, and just wasn't kept.
Whatever.
So that's what it caused this whole thing. Can't you be empathetic to that?
Yeah, right.
You know, come on now. Everyone knows that if you tease somebody about their beard, they're going to go on a mass murder spree. I mean, everyone in the world knows that.
You would think.
So basically, the defense attorneys, it was a joke.
Yeah,
I found it very sickening, actually.
It was a complete joke because they never should have said. I mean, they were on the air for like a long time.
Yeah.
And all they really should have said was, "We're here to defend the family. Not that the family did anything, but until we have all the facts, we're not going to say anything more." But they kept going on and on and on about just because they have a Muslim name, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. No, this damage control, if you will, has been part of the plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
See, this isn't they're trying to clean up or
no.
This is all a part of the plan. That's why the news that's why they already had these guys retained, or they were right there lickety-split.
And Kathy, don't you think it's kind of interesting that had the attorneys been with the family that they're with right now over in the Middle East, that they'd probably be possibly thrown off a building?
Yeah, exactly.
You got that impression too, did you?
One-sided.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Kathy.
Nice talking to you. Thank you.
Great observations. But this thing about the picture is very important because this is a subliminal form of communication that they're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
They're subliminally lying to us about this woman by not showing us her image, and not even now we see showing us an image that in any way might resemble a Muslim woman wearing the hijab or burqa.
Yeah. Well, I don't see what the big hassle about showing us her picture is, because she's with her husband right now.
Only if he favored her.
Oh, that's right.
Because see, this is another teaching that if I'm going to have to look at my Quran. If it's in there, it's not. According to what I'm being told, it shouldn't be in there. But all females, upon dying, go to hell. And only those who are favored by their husbands will be allowed into heaven. Now, obviously, if a husband has more than one wife, you want to be the one that he favors. So it's a way to get women to work even harder to please the man, don't you see?
Oh.
Right? Kind of slick, isn't it?
A little hedonistic, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, sometimes makes you might want to rethink this.
You know, I never understood the multiple wife thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, diversity can be fun.
Yeah.
You know, but I never wanted to have that many mother-in-laws.
Well, look at me. I'm still single. I can't even handle one woman, much less 5. All right, let's go to Ed. Ed, thank you for calling and holding. We appreciate you being out there.
Yeah, this battle between the Muslim world and the Christian world has been going on since the days of Muhammad. And, you know, it's not going to go away because there's two fundamental differences. The Christians believe in freedom of religion, and the Islamic people believe in submission to religion.
Oh, very well put.
And because of that ideological difference, we're never going to get along. We've always been at battle, and it's going to continue till the end of the days. They have their own beliefs on the ends of days, and we have our own beliefs on the ends of days. But this problem's not going to go away. But what we got in the middle of the two battles is another group called the Marxists. The Marxists are the ones that predominantly, especially in D.C., they predominantly control D.C., and they don't want to really tell the truth. They're all about, let's make both sides happy, and the Christians are really in our way. We got to get rid of them. But the Marxists believe in no religion. So you got one group that wants freedom of religion, you got another group that wants submission to religion, and then you got a group of Marxists that don't want no religion. We want to keep all the people in school systems. They want to be anti-Christ and anti-Islamic, and that's our main battle is the people that are in D.C. Those are the people that are giving us the problem. We should be announcing, hey, we're at war with, the Islamic terror factor, and you guys better say, tighten up the borders, declare war, and let's have at it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's only a few of our politicians that are willing to take that stand.
Well, most of them are Marxists, and that's the reason. Most of them, Republicans and Democrats, are Marxists. And they're not going to stand up for constitutional principles, and that's our big problem. So we've got to start getting the Constitution back. And the Constitution was really put together by Christian libertarians who said, hey, we want freedom of religion, and we want less government. And the Marxists want huge government and no religion. Yeah. So there's those are the three dominant forces on this planet right now, and we need to be aware of it.
Yeah, we need to be aware of it, but we're on the right side, and we got the big guy in our corner. But you've actually laid out the problem quite well, and I wish you'd have done it on a Monday though instead of a Friday, because I don't want people to be so depressed over the weekend. Yeah. But no, I'm just sort of teasing.
We're going to win this thing, man.
Yeah. Well, see, that's where I was just getting ready to go. But at the end of the day, this is like the greatest challenge. And if you're doing God's fighting for him, don't you want to be in the fight of the greatest challenge? You don't want to be in some sort of lesser challenge. Right. When we get to heaven, we want to say, man, we were fighting the big fight.
We were in the big one.
Guy.
We were in the big one.
That's right. You know it.
And it's been going on for all time.
Yeah,
you're right. Until the end one.
You're absolutely sort of like that Star Trek episode where the two guys get locked in there and they got to fight forever.
Yeah,
that's pretty much where we're at with
Lazarus.
The Lazarus story. Yeah.
All right, Ed. Great call. Appreciate you being out there.
Yeah, and it brings back to mind the reason why the Second Amendment was actually put in to the Constitution.
Yes.
You know, and it wasn't so that we could go hunting. It wasn't so that we could have weapons. You know, it states that, you know, a well-armed militia is necessary to protect us from what? Government.
And exactly.
Not just to go do that, but we had to protect ourselves from our government.
Yeah, and as I said yesterday on the show, this event that happened a couple of days ago was not proof that we need to disarm America. It is proof that we need to arm up America.
Yeah.
All right. So we got time for one more phone call. Marshall, you're it. Thanks for calling tonight.
How you guys doing?
Excellent.
Surprisingly well.
Listen, Chris, you're right, because this whole thing was a scam day. I watched it today. The crime scene was not secured.
Nope.
The car they owned was not taken away from the scene. I have never seen anything like reporters were stumbling through the crime scene, picking things up that could have fingerprints on it. It was, if a CSI, they would just be, it was insane.
Yeah, what Marshall is talking about is the apartment where they had their arsenal and they built the bombs and they had the computers and everything. Evidently, the FBI decided they'd seen all they needed to see, and they left, and they did not secure that which is part of the crime scene, as Marshall was saying. And the reporters and everybody was just going in and out, and so now that crime scene has been compromised.
Yep, completely.
Yeah, it's no longer worth in most normal such situations, especially an investigation of this nature. That crime scene would have been secured.
Yep, not released until it was sanitized.
Exactly, they would have put tape across the door. They would have stationed an officer outside and made sure nobody went in there for days, if not weeks, so that they could revisit. Once they get back to the lab and examine some of the evidence, they may decide we need to go back and look for something else. But now it's too late.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, you got to make it quick, though, because I'm up against the break.
Okay, Geraldo Rivera, you know what I'm talking about, Geraldo?
Yeah, Geraldo, yeah.
Yeah, he made a comment the other day that we need to get rid of the Second Amendment. He's dead to me.
Well, yeah. I tell you, that's this,
he is gone. He is history.
Well, as the previous caller said, we got big problems within our own house.